see people coming up. Right. Any reaction?
Oh, she has no comment right now. She has no comment.
Any reaction at all?
One question. I'm sorry.
House Select Committee. Would you talk to them again? What you talk about?
No, that's between us and the House Select Committee. At all times from when this first came up, Ms. Ryan has been very cooperative with the government. She realized she'd done something wrong. She was going to plead guilty to it. We asked the Department of Justice to go ahead and give her a plea agreement immediately. It took them 6 months to come up with an actual written agreement that was approved by the Department of Justice. She came in and pled guilty. Feels very remorseful for what happened. And if you had been in the courtroom, you know that the judge said that he's actually sentencing her as a deterrent to other people. Unfortunately, because she was something of a public face of January 6th, she's being punished as a warning to other people. It goes way beyond anything that she did. We're bitterly disappointed that she got incarceration. What's that?
Does she denounce what happened on January 6th?
Oh, of course. But at the time, she thought it was just a public demonstration. She's been to one of those in Texas before. It was strictly peaceful. She had no way of knowing that this was going on, whatever was going on down there. You know, Washington is a place you come to demonstrate. The judge said that he welcomes that. The First Amendment should live here like nowhere else. And so certainly, she had a right to be down there. She shouldn't have gone inside. And that's all that she did.
2 minutes.
Yeah, she walked in for 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And but unfortunately, that was a demonstration inside the Capitol. You can't do that. But I'm disappointed that her sentence included incarceration, and only not because of what she did, but because of who she is. The fact that she's a public figure to some extent, that's the reason she was incarcerated.
Let me ask you this then. The judge clearly said, Ms. Ryan, that you put yourself in that position. You made yourself a face of January 6th by your social media post. So I just wonder, do you now regret some of those things you said, some of those things you posted?
Absolutely. Of course, I regret.
But this should scare all of you. If you appear on television or in the media, you're making protected speech. And would you like to think that the government is going to put you in jail because people say, I heard you talk about something and I don't like what you said? They conceded there was nothing that she said that was not protected by the First Amendment. But the judge said because of what you said and the fact that in the immediate days after January 6th, she seemed not to be ashamed of it. And she was full of all this vim and vigor from being involved. He thought she should be made an example of, and that's general deterrence. But I think that a free press should be afraid of that kind of thing. If you're reporting things that go on in the news and you dare make it look like you may agree with it, could you be incarcerated? Because you seem to agree with something, with protesters of some kind? I think this is a step in the wrong direction.
And respectfully, I do.
That's all we have to say right now.
It was just one last thing, because I appreciate and respect the fact that you're sitting here answering some of these questions. The judge said the reason he penalized your client for making those statements was because it demonstrated a lack of remorse
in the immediate days after it.
And so I just wonder one more time, do you have a statement of remorse that you would like to offer, Ms. Ryan?
Of course, I walked into the Capitol for 2 minutes, and I'm remorseful of that. I'm disappointed that I am being used as an example in my incarceration, because other people that walked in for 2 minutes may not have the same thing, but because I'm a public person and I have a Twitter account, I'm being punished for that. And because the media was doing what y'all are doing right now, I'm being punished for this, and it's actually causing my incarceration. And I think that is a travesty. I think that everybody should be able to tweet without being persecuted and treated like crap. So it's, watch what you tweet, because if you tweet, you can go to jail, basically.
Do you regret tweeting that you weren't going to jail?
Well, I didn't think I was at the time, and that's because they had some discussions about it. And yes, I regret ever tweeting, but it's a free country, and I'm allowed to say, it's free speech. And so I really believe in free speech, and I've learned so much through this process. And that's all I have to say.
Anything you want to
Thank
say to the injured cops who got hurt that day?
Oh,
Shoot on ball.
Are you planning to talk to them?
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Die woman. Thank you. So fucking loud.